The big day is almost upon us. Stars and Stripes Festival, Saturday, July 8th here at Belmont Park. A lot of great stuff coming up and a lot of great racing. The stakes action kicks off in race number 6. And keep in mind, the NYRA Pick 5 will be all stakes, races 6 through 10. On Saturday's Stars and Stripes card, $100,000 guaranteed to a single winner. You can bet this through NYRABets.com. Bet through NYRABets. If you're out of state, if you are not out of state and you're in state, you can bet on track or around New York State. But the only way to play it if you're not in New York State is through NYRABets. And more information at NYRABets.com. The Dwyer, race number 6, kicks off the action. There are 3 major players, the 2 Battalion Runner, the 3 Practical Joke, and the 5 Giuseppe the Great. I think Practical Joke's going to be very tough. He is cutting back to a one-turn race the first time since he won our Champagne and won our Grade 1 Hopeful. This is a one-turn horse. He tried for the Derby races. He ran adequately in the prep races of the Derby, but he wants to go 7 furlongs to a mile around one turn. It's what he does best. He's the horse to beat. Now, a lot of people are going to like Battalion Runner as the speed, though he may have to deal with the 4 True Timber early. I am not a Battalion Runner fan. I have not been a big fan of any of his races. I think he was helped by the speed track in the Wood Memorial, and I don't think he's done that much running. I think Practical Joke is a much more likely winner. In fact, Practical Joke's my A. My B in this NYRABets Pick 5 is the 5 Giuseppe the Great for trainer Nick Zito, who's really improving with every start. A nice second-place finish behind American Anthem and our Woody Stevens. He can set a good stalking trip. Practical Joke's an A. Giuseppe the Great's a B. And Battalion Runner is a C for me as we kick off the NYRABets Pick 5. Now, the pick action continues with an all-stakes Pick 4 in race number 7, and that is guaranteed at $500,000 on Stars and Stripes Day in race number 7, the Belmont Sprint Championship. Finally got that out. It's a rematch of Mind Your Biscuits and Unified. Unified beat Mind Your Biscuits by a neck down in Florida. Unify was able to control that day. He's going to have to stalk Green Grotto in here. Mind Your Biscuits came up short. It was the 4-year-old debut for both of those horses. Mind Your Biscuits went to Dubai, and he beat a subpar field, but he did it impressively in the Golden Shaheen. He has not run since. Unified ran the Carter. He lost by a neck to Green Grotto. Circumstance didn't work in his favor. I think Unify is going to continue his dominance and beat Mind Your Biscuits, but they are both A's for me in this race, and they are the 2 biggest players. The one stall walking dude, he'll be a B or C for me in my play. His races are good enough that if the other don't show up, he can get the job done here. Tommy Macho's okay. He probably should have won the Carter. He was against the bias that day, but he ran the Met Mile and ran a credible third. He comes back in just 4 weeks, and over his career, his best races are when he's spaced farther apart. I don't particularly like him or the 5 Awesome Slew, but they could be C's for me in the Pick 5. Mind Your Biscuits and Unified are the major players kicking off the $500,000 guaranteed Pick 4 in race number 7. On the turf for the Belmont Oaks Invitational at 1.25 miles, if the 12 Sister Charlie repeats her effort last time out in the Pre-Diane, she's going to win this race. She had significant trouble in the stretch that time. She overcame it and still finished second and should have won. That was an effort that will beat this field. But she has the outside post. It was just 20 days ago. She's got to ship here and duplicate that performance. If she does, she's going to win. She's my main A. But I'm going to use the horse from California, Bo Recall, who draws well in the 2 post. I'm going to use the 8 New Money Honey, who had everything her own way in winning the prep for this The Wonder again, but she's good enough to win it. And I'll use a little Coasted as well on the inside, who probably should have been much closer to the Wonder again, but she blew the break and was then compromised by the pace. She could have been the speed. The 12 is an A for me. The 2 and 8 are B's, and the 1 Coasted is a C in the Belmont Oaks. Race number 9, the Suburban at 1.25 miles. Shaman Ghost is the only A for me. He is too good for these. And even though a main rival is Matt King Cole, and he is the main speed, Shaman Ghost showed in the Santa Anita Handicap that he can stalk in 1.25 miles and win. I think his win in the Pimlico Special, Shaman Ghost, is much better than it looks. He overcame a wide trip, a trip that had him in bad position, and he still beat Dolphus, who I'm not sure wouldn't be the second best horse in this race. Shaman Ghost is the A. Matt King Cole is a C for me in the Suburban. And that is the second to last leg in both the $500,000 guaranteed Pick 4 and the NYRABets Pick 5. We close it out in the Belmont Derby Invitational. And keep in mind, the guarantees aren't over. The late double, races 10 and 11, and you're on your own in the 11th race, or you can watch Talking Horses on Saturday. The Belmont Derby Invitational kicks that off. It's guaranteed at $250,000. I am against Oscar Performance in this race. I wonder if the 10 White Cliffs of Dover, one of the two horses coming over Aidan O'Brien, will put pressure on him early. I think Call to the Bar, a European you want to use, will be close up. I don't see Oscar Performance beating this field at 1.25 miles. Like many people, I like Arklow the 6, who's undefeated in 2 races on the turf and was very game, making a bit of a premature move in winning the American turf last time. I like him. I prefer him over the 5 Called to the Bar, a European who's improving with every start. I think will be very dangerous and more forwardly placed. The 2 Ticonderoga. The 2 and 5 are my Bs. The 6 is my A. I might use all 3 of them as A's, depending on how I look at the ticket eventually. Good Samaritan. I think Ticonderoga is more likely than Good Samaritan, but they're close. Good Samaritan should be on your tickets as well. I don't like the European Homesman. The only Euro I'm using is Call to the Bar. Now, I haven't discussed the 7 Yoshida. I think Yoshida can win this race, and he's run well in both his starts this year. But this is a much tougher field, and he's been running in. He beat a much weaker field last time, albeit visually impressively. I just think he could end up being favored here, and he may be overbet. So he's on the bottom of my tickets, but I think he's very beatable as a short price in a very competitive Belmont Derby Invitational. For more on that in the Belmont Oaks, there is another video talking about those races in depth. But I went 6-2-5 in the Belmont Derby, which concludes the Naira Bet Pick 5, as well as the stakes action on the Stars and Stripes card. That Naira Bet Pick 5, get involved. Sign up at nairabets.com. Best of luck on a great Stars and Stripes day.